Welcome to the Professor Slots Podcast. You know how you put a lot of time and energy into your slots play for not nearly enough wins? Yeah, I get it. I'm here to help you change that. If you're trying to accelerate your slots momentum, become more profitable, and win more than ever before, today's episode will help you move forward with confidence. Hello, slots enthusiasts. It's great to hang out with you again for another Professor Slots Podcast episode I do every few days to help you improve your slots performance, leave with your winnings, and ultimately change your life for the better. And hopefully I'm going to change your life a little bit today so you can visit your casino and play slots smarter. And sometimes the best way we can do that to change slots enthusiasts' lives for the better is when they enter a business relationship with us. They become a client. They buy our online courses. They get coaching from us, whatever the case may be, because you have ways to take advantage of your casino, which allows you to impact how much you win and then leave with your winnings. In case you missed it on my last episode, I went over how to get out of the casino with your winnings in the Massachusetts slots industry. I hope you enjoyed listening to my last episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Today's episode 194 includes a review of the slots industry in Michigan later in the episode, but I'll begin for you today with Protect Your Slots Bankroll with your loss limit plan. Hidden within your slot machine gameplay is your loss limit plan. Do you know what it is? And is it doing its job successfully? My best tips for spending your bankroll wisely at the casino include stopping. My golden rule of slots gambling is never take money to the casino to play slots which you can't afford to comfortably lose. And you do that by having a loss limit. But there are so many ways to use a loss limit, and many folks don't realize they've got an excellent loss limit approach that works for them. I don't mean that I fail to see that it's excellent. I mean, they don't realize their method of limiting losses. What's your loss limit plan? Is it leaving your credit and debit cards in your car or at home? Is it only putting a $20 bill into the machine at a time? Both are loss limit methods. I'm not talking about preserving gains or getting out of the casino with your winnings, but loss limits are something you've had to deal with since the first time you played a slot machine. Do you remember that? Do you remember what happened to you? My first experience with slot machine gambling was in 2003 at a small tribal casino in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I was driving back to graduate school in Iowa after visiting family and found a hotel to spend the night at. The casino was located just down the highway from that hotel. I wasn't aware of the casino being there until the hotel provided $20 worth of tokens to play at it. I remember feeling a little nervous about entering a casino for the first time, but I gathered up my courage and went on in. I found it to be a highly distracting place with loud flashing lights and a great deal of cigarette and cigar smoke in the air. I distinctly remember rapidly spending those $20 in tokens on slots, plus another $50 besides, which I could ill afford to lose. At the time, I was a poor graduate student on an engineering stipend working a side job as a temporary instructor of college physics. As I continued home in that long road trip, I started thinking about gambling with slot machines and have since never stopped doing so. After a few months of thinking about it, or more precisely, occasionally dwelling on that first experience, I saw a casino on the river while on another driving trip near Omaha on the border between Iowa and Nebraska. With those months of thinking figuratively behind me, I'd concluded from my first trip that I needed a rule, a loss limit. I needed to decide how much I should allow myself to spend whenever I entered another casino. The careful rule I devised was take a fixed amount into the casino, say $25, and spend only that plus whatever you make from it. With this simple loss limit and $25, I entered this second casino at 2 p.m. on a Saturday and left almost 12 hours later at 1 a.m. Yes, I'd carefully followed my rule. Not being prepared for success was my error. The mistake which my simple rule didn't account for was, as would become usual, winning. Almost immediately after entering the second casino, I won $500 on a 25-cent slot machine. Doing so left me feeling quite emotional, which inclined me to try to stick firmly to the rule, which I proceeded to do. As the afternoon and the evening passed into the early morning, I continued to win minor, non-taxable jackpots, but eventually spent my $25 and what I'd gained. And so this was my second experience at a casino. I should also mention that I did try to find a hotel that morning instead of driving home at such a late hour and coming as close as I ever would to colliding with the deer on the highway. I wisely went to a nearby hotel. However, they wouldn't accept a credit card, only cash. This hotel policy insinuated that people would provide a credit card to the hotel upon arrival, but then be unable to pay their hotel bill at checkout. Did they max out their credit limit at the casino and then not be able to pay the hotel bill the following morning? What else? My point isn't about me being unable to get a hotel room, but that this was my first real clue that gambling consists of more than just the act of gambling. It exists in a unique environment where loud sounds, flashing lights, secondhand smoke, and gambling abuses can occur, and we need loss limits to protect our bankroll. Have you heard the adage, it's not an emergency if you know about it in advance? Again, what's your loss limit plan? What rules have you given yourself? And is it working for you? I suggest you consider how you limit how much you spend at slots. Perhaps some elements of your loss limit plan might include 1. Keep your ATM and credit cards in your car, hotel room, or home. 2. Only put $20 into a slot machine when you sit down. 3. Ask your spouse to hold on to your remaining bankroll. And 4, leave or stop gambling when you're down by 30%. Like being organized, start with what you do already. Then improve on it until your loss limit plan suits you. In summary, hidden within your slot machine gameplay is your loss limit plan. If you know what it is it good enough, or might it be improved? Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses, including 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership group, where you get community support and accountability. Visit ProfessorSlots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. In the next segment of the show, I provide a brief overview of the current state of gambling in a U.S. state, territory, or the federal district, emphasizing the gaming industry for slots enthusiasts. Let's go over Michigan's gaming industry for playing slots. Michigan slot machine casino gambling consists of 3 commercial casinos in Detroit and 23 tribal casinos throughout the state. Furthermore, Caesars Windsor is a popular destination just across the international border from Detroit in the Canadian province of Ontario. The minimum legal gambling age in Michigan depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos, it's 18 or 21, depending if alcohol is available. For poker rooms, bingo, lottery, and parimutuel wagering, it's 18. The minimum legal age for gambling at Caesars Windsor is 19 years old. In 1996, Michigan voters approved 3 licensed casinos for Detroit via the Michigan Gaming Control and Revenue Act. Next up is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. It is legal to own a slot machine privately in Michigan if it is 25 years old or older. The Michigan Gaming Control Board, MGCB, within the Michigan Department of Treasury, regulates commercial casinos in Detroit. Further, the MGCB provides compliance oversight authority for tribal state compacts with Michigan's federally recognized tribes. Federally recognized American Indian tribes are sovereign nations. As such, the state of Michigan does not have general regulatory authority over tribal casinos, although the state has oversight authority of compliance with state tribal compact provisions. Instead, through the Federal Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, IGRA, of 1988, Michigan's tribes have tribal state compacts in place to allow Class III games of chance slot machines. Therefore, the National Indian Gaming Commission and each tribal government regulate Michigan's tribal casinos. For Canadian casinos, the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario, a Crown agency, and the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, OLG, regulates gaming at Caesars Windsor across the international border from Detroit. In this section, I'll discuss Michigan's gambling establishments. Michigan has 3 commercial casinos, 23 American Indian tribal casinos, and a nearby Canadian casino across the international border from Detroit. The 23 tribal casinos in Michigan are thriving businesses, and many major expansion projects are underway throughout the state. This is especially true for casinos in northern Michigan. As usual, when there are too many casinos to mention here, a complete list along with a casino map are on my webpage for the state at ProfessorSlots.com/mi. As an alternative to enjoying Michigan slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Bordering Michigan is, to the north and east, the Canadian province of Ontario. To the south, Indiana and Ohio. and to the west, Minnesota, and across Lake Michigan, Illinois. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com, followed by its 2-letter postal designation. For example, my Indiana slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/IN. Detroit's commercial casinos have a minimum theoretical payout of 80%. In addition, they have a maximum theoretical payout of 100%, unless otherwise approved by the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Class 2 skill-based electronic gaming machines at commercial casinos in Detroit also have these payout limits when played perfectly. Return statistics from Detroit's casinos are not publicly available. Payout limits for machines at Michigan's tribal casinos do not exist, nor are return statistics publicly available. Finally, Canadian casinos in Ontario, such as Caesars Windsor, has a minimum theoretical payout of 85% and a maximum theoretical payout of 99.1% for Class 3 Vegas-style games of chance. However, Class 2 competition-style games of skill machines, such as video poker, have a minimum theoretical payout of 88%. In summary, Michigan slot machine casino gambling consists of 3 casinos in Detroit and 23 tribal casinos throughout the state. Otherwise, Caesars Windsor in Canada, across the border from Detroit, is a popular casino destination. Want to take the next step to accelerate your slots journey? Well, take my 6-week advanced slots labs with group coaching. Every week, we will focus on what you need to win at slots and leave with your winnings. You also get 3 valuable bonuses, including my mini course, 7 Gambling Record Secrets, my Slots Fundamentals course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, because it's a prerequisite for Slots Labs, and strategy meetings with me. Visit ProfessorSlots.com/SL to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and cost. But fair warning, this course is not for the faint of heart. It will take hard work, a time commitment around an average of 5 to 6 hours per week, and sometimes more, sometimes less. We want you to know this going into the Slots Labs experience so that you get the most coming out of it. Seating is limited, and the course fills up fast. The next episode of the Professor Slots podcast will include another slots-related topic and a review of the slots industry in Minnesota. That's the end of another great episode of the Professor Slots podcast. Thanks so much for listening. I plan to have the next episode come out very soon for you, where I'll have more amazing content for the show. Until the next episode, have fun, be safe, and make smart choices. Bye.